On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are here in one of my favorite new cars, a car that has absolutely polarized the internet. And it's raining outside, it's cold, we don't have ideal conditions today, and I think it's the perfect time to test out a brand new all-wheel drive electric SUV. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and today, like I said, I am super excited to be in the new 2023 Mercedes EQS 580. And huge thank you to Walzer Mercedes of Wichita for loaning me this and letting me drive it around for just a little bit. Ever since I saw the Hyperscreen come out in like 2020, I have been absolutely enamored with this. I think it's the greatest dash there is, and I am so pumped to finally be in a car that has one. So we're gonna get through all the features and the controls on the EQS 580 today. I know you guys are already expecting this thing to be fast because it's a modern EV, and it doesn't disappoint. Dual motor, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. Obviously, plenty of traction with the all-wheel drive system. 561 horsepower and 631 foot-pounds of torque. And it's a two-row SUV, so you can haul the family around and have a bunch of fun. This is wild inside. Honestly, the interior is the thing that sells it for me, and I can't wait to show you every bit of it. Right out of the gate, the camera giving away all the secrets of this car. You can see those two infrared LEDs there flipping back and forth. That's probably for a driver monitoring camera to make sure you're actually paying attention to the road, especially if this thing is steering for you at any point. So right here we have the speedometer and our power meter. I love the big, beautiful, glowing neon looks of both of these, and the fact that if you notice, this is basically the Q in the EQS. So that's also very, very cool that the needle itself kind of makes that. Yeah, so speedometer, there's our range right there, 222 miles, max 227 miles. Maybe if we shut the climate control off, I assume that's what it's telling me. The battery's 86% charged on this thing. It has literally 8 miles on it. That is no joke there. There's your driver wheel monitoring right there. That's lane keeping, lane centering right there. And it says it's ready to go. It's currently in park. Outside temp, clock, all the things you'd expect right there. And I would assume this is your regen level. It says normal recuperation, and I think that can be set to high or low. So it can coast more like a manual transmission with the clutch in. Normal is probably like an automatic transmission, and of course high regen is where I like to drive, so you can just let off the gas and the thing automatically stops for you in a relatively short distance, I'd say. There's our gear selection right there. Here's our actual gear shift on the column. A lot of people will appreciate that this has a column shifter. There's nothing in the middle taking up a bunch of room. They actually used every bit of room in this thing, so it's kind of cool. It's a throwback with a column shifter there, and you push in on it to put it in park, up for reverse, down for drive. And of course that C right there is your drive mode. It's currently in comfort. Pretty wild that that was just the instrument cluster right there. So now let's take a look at the steering wheel, which actually has a lot going on, but it's not too bad. It looks like a lot of buttons, but honestly, pretty standard here. So all of this is the cruise control, this whole section here. You got your cruise on off. We'll turn the cruise on there. There's your cruise follow distance. Here's your speed, and of course you can scroll up and down to set the speed on this, which is actually really nice. Resume, there's your cancel, and all of this, these are all controls for the actual instrument cluster here. So this is a 4-way navigator, and it's touch. Look at this. If you scroll through, you just go up, down, side to side, and it does all kinds of cool things in the cluster. Well, you know, it navigates through the menus. I don't know how cool that is, but that's what it does. Here's your home button for the cluster, and when you hit it, it actually loads up the themes for the gauge cluster. So we've got sport, understated if you want a more chill driving experience there. You can make the map the whole cluster. You can show the driver aids, off-road mode, and service. That's kind of interesting. First of all, that's the one I want to see. Okay, tire pressure displayed after driving. What else do we have in here? It's not letting me do anything else. Well, I wanted to see more service things. But apparently tire pressure is about all you get for now. And here is the volume for the infotainment, your phone's assistant or the vehicle's voice assistant, and your call controls there as well. And these are actually, I think they're all touch buttons. Kind of interesting. Oh, they are, and they work really well. That's super nice. Take a look at how fast that is. You guys can see the volume going up on screen over there. That is cool. And it looks like you just hold to shut it off. Behind the wheel, we have the paddle shifters, which I assume fake some gears because obviously this is a single speed. All of our wiper controls are right here on this stock, turn signals as well, high beams, yeah, all the usual, and it's laid out really well. This is the rear wiper control right here. These are your fronts, and then spray on the end, and of course we talked about the column shifter already. So that is the steering wheel and most of the driver's cockpit there. Here's your lighting controls down here, parking brake down there too, fog lights, really nice little dial to go through all the lighting controls. And these are super interesting, the seat controls. So these are almost touch buttons. Look how little they move. If you remember the old ones, you actually had to move them quite a bit. And these ones, you just kind of bump them or give it like a slight bit of pressure and the seat moves. Anyway, door handle looks cool, lock controls in a great place so you don't have to go hunting through your car. I'm really loving how they did that instead of putting like an active locking button in the middle. Window controls, full auto all the way through, power folding mirrors, all the mirror controls. This is also a little touch screen. So let's pick driver mirror and, oh, you have to actually push down on it. So it's like a touch screen that you have to press in on at the same time. Very interesting. One more thing on the driver door, heated seat controls. Let's turn that all the way up, see if we can do both. We can do both. Wow, that absolutely blasts hot air out. And I'm not quite sure what R is. I assume it might only heat the bottom. Oh, weird. I don't know what that does. Well, I gotta learn something new here. And right here, we of course have our memory seat controls. And of course the memory kind of does everything in the car, including the power tilt telescope wheel, mirror positions, all of that fun stuff. All saved in your memories there. Burmester sound, we've got the mid bass right there. It looks really cool. Kind of interesting, the tweeters reflect off of the exterior glass right here. So there's another Burmester grill right there. The vents are really cool. They rotate as an eyeball and it's super smooth. And I think you have to close them. You turn them on and off in the menu. You can't actually turn the center or anything like that to turn them on and off. So that's kind of interesting there. Anyway, that's basically everything on the driver's side. There's the lift gate control down there, and there's plenty of room here for your water bottle, whatever you need. Here's something really cool. Everything's pretty much duplicated over here on the passenger side. Look at this beautiful wood. That wood looks so nice. You can see the ambient lighting down there, a nice little strip of that. Ambient lighting all the way around the controls. The same seat controls from the driver's side, lock controls, and then the passenger has their own memories. Not just heated and cooled seats, their own memory settings in case you have different passengers that want different memories. And of course they have their own screen because the Hyperscreen, and check out the super sick animation of the Mercedes star just scrolling outward. It's like you're warping through space, but space is Mercedes stars. Well, I think this instantaneously became my favorite car I've ever driven. Take a look at the dash. The whole thing is alive. This is so cool, and I'm pretty sure it has four-wheel steering. It is the weirdest thing ever when you're driving at low speed. I think this is the first four-wheel steer vehicle I've ever driven. Here, let me let off the gas. Okay, so now it's blue. And I think it will start, yeah, look at that. There's the regen. It shows that it's nicely regenerating. And now let's go full throttle. The paddles set the regen. Amazing. Just what I wanted, just like my Volt. I hold this paddle in the Volt and it gives me 100% regen, and that's exactly what I wanted in this. I want to be able to let off the gas and have it completely stop the car.
It's beautiful.
We are cheating today because obviously it's raining and the overcast skies make greens pop like none other, but that looks super good. Look at the parking lines.
Yeah, that's impressive. There you go, and you can see front and rear wheels.
We have confirmed this car does have all-wheel steering, and it is one of the coolest things. So obviously you can drive it normally like we are right now. Of course it is using the rear steer at the same time, but it's funny, it also works when you're driving forward. Oh, my water bottle rolled back. It like crabs around corners kind of. It's super weird that it just makes the most precise turns. So we're gonna turn around right here. This is like a little intersection that my F-250 can't turn all the way around in. So wild, dude. I've never been able to do this in this intersection. If you make more than one turn, you know, it goes too far.
Yeah.
In any other car?
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
I mean, I can't do it in the sky.
Yeah, it walks over and you can't make it through this.
But no, this is, I mean...
All-wheel steering is so
beautiful.
sick. So sick.
Whoa. Okay, so this display is interactive, right?
This is Gabe's passenger display here.
Right. So you'll see the degree of turns here, both for front and rear wheels.
Oh, you can see the rear turning in right now.
You got like 2.2 degrees.
Oh, I'm
5
going
degrees.
too fast. I went 12. So now if I slow back down to 9,
Look at that.
now it's turning again, right?
That is insane. Yeah. No, I mean, it was turning even when you were going faster.
Can we turn around just in the middle of a 2-lane road? I don't know if we can.
I don't know.
But it's
let's
worth
see.
a shot.
So there's our front at 37 degrees
Full
and
turn.
9.7 on the rear.
No way.
Whoa, we did it. Just 2
That
lanes.
is insane.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys can see this. This
Okay,
is
here we
just
go.
this is
We're
just a road in a neighborhood, and we're able to go all the way around. Wow. That is a cheat code.
Dude, this is amazing.
That's so sick.
And of course you got center of gravity and G meter right there.
In sport, because we do have it in sport now.
That's amazing. I love watching this graphic. It's just too much fun.
So cool.
Yeah. And you can see your spring compression rate and energy flow and all that stuff. I mean, I'd be too distracted.
Dude, it's just too good.
I would be sitting here watching this thing the whole
You're
time
like, I
and
could
being like,
look
oh,
over
whoa,
here.
look at that.
Can I see that passenger display?
Right.
I hope this thing's
like-
self-driving, because I got things to look at.
No joke.
Oh, this is really, really cool. Wow. Okay, so another thing. You can't turn off the vents. I haven't found a control. I'm kind of dizzy. We went around in a circle.
Go the other way. We got to go in circles the other way.
We got to unwind it for sure. Okay, climate menu. First row of seats. How do you open and close the vents? Because these are the controls for up, down, forward, back.
That's just sliding them, yeah. Those
Yeah.
are just sliders. They're not.
So I really want to know. That's climate off, right?
Yep.
It sure is. It sure is. Climate's on. Second row of seats, full auto. And wow, 4-zone climate control. Super sick.
Jeez.
Check that out. Pre-entry. That's nice. So it can start warming up or cooling
Nice.
down before you take off for work. There's just no way to shut the vents off, is there?
I'm sure there's got to be a
There's
way.
got to be a way.
I mean,
This
you've got individual fans and everything. That might be it, right? So, oh, there you go, off.
I think that shut off your full side, though.
The whole thing with cutting out distractions when you're driving, they failed.
I don't
Absolutely failed.
dude,
Mercedes, you failed. I'm
this
sorry.
is not distracting to me at all.
No,
because
it's-
you don't need most of this. Like, you never need to look at any of this stuff for the most part. You're just gonna finally figure out the mode you drive it in, which is gonna end up being normal and not sport all the time. Let's make this quieter. Oh, I see.
Oh, it opened?
I
cool,
opened it.
okay.
I
yeah.
opened it like an idiot.
But,
So yeah, to me, once I get the car set up, you never look at any of this again. It's nice because my phone's right there where I need it, so I've got all my navigation, my music right there, and of course everything else is just good to go. The only thing that is like, every once in a while you'll look back inside and be like, dude, check out those sweet lights.
those lights are amazing. I do love the
The
lights.
lights are so cool, man. So again, some people are gonna say this is all distractions.
No,
but-
I'm sure once you get used to it, I mean,
Yeah.
but
And the reality is, I think it's way less distracting when they give you that passenger screen, because you can just tell your passenger to do everything. And I think you can also tell the Mercedes, like Mercedes voice activation will control almost the whole car. Even, I think it'll do climate, volume, all that stuff.
so I can only do a few things here.
I can't control sport mode or anything
No,
like that.
no,
or
it's
anything
right
on the
here. You
vehicle.
actually can. It's
well,
right in the
well,
center.
what I'm saying is I can't do it from the screen.
But-
this is cool because you can see the accelerator, the position of the pedal.
You can handle all the navigation and music, which is the only thing that's ever distracting.
Right. So, I mean, it's a pretty robust menu.
Yeah, go through the whole thing, man. Oh,
Let's
you
see.
took
Oh,
over. You
there's-
took over with
I
the
didn't mean to do
satellite,
that. I didn't-
satellite radio.
Stupid radio thing. Let's see what we have for off-road.
Off-road. Oh, why is it so good? This is the best car.
I love this.
Oh my gosh. This is all I want in a car. Mercedes knew from the beginning.
I'm sold. I don't have the cash.
I don't either. I'm not gonna spend the money, but if there was a car I could buy, it would be this.
This is definitely.
Wow.
Man. Okay, so let's see what we have for drive. Tire pressure.
So sick.
Tire what temperature?
Oh yeah, well
Wow.
the pressure, the cinders always have temp in them, so
Okay,
now they
so
show it to you.
You got your
Latitude
exact-
and longitude.
Yeah, you got lat long.
How many satellites it's connected to? 19. That's a huge satellite lock.
Drive. Yeah.
Go back to drive.
Remember back
Drive.
in the day of
There's wheel position. Wheel. Oh, there.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, got them red lights.
So cool.
All right, so on the other side, we've got suspension position. So it's just,
okay.
So
it's all
same thing.
duplicated. Gotcha.
I should remember the old school, like trying to just log in or lock on to a couple of satellites.
Yeah, you can try to get 3 satellites.
Here we are at 3. Come on, down to 2. Oh.
Dude, this is like an airplane. You've got your attitude indicator here,
yeah,
and you've got your heading right there. That's so sick.
This is cool. Okay, let's see what else we got. Comfort.
Your seat kinetics. Turn on your seat. Oh, turn mine on too. We need massages.
Backrest. Oh, there it goes. Oh, nice. Look, you can set the duration of it.
This is better than every other car I've ever seen because every other car shuts off at 30 minutes, and this goes for 96.
32, 96. Seat heating balance. Oh, that's nice.
That is pretty cool. That's cool. You can say, hey, Mercedes. Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help?
Volume to 50%.
You have not subscribed to this service.
And the microtransactions begin. So we got voice assist, display brightness, whee, keyboards, handwriting. Oh, so you can do handwriting apps. Browser,
Okay.
Mercedes, Me, and
That
gallery.
must be what we're not subscribed to.
Okay, so let's see what the gallery has.
You have not subscribed to this service.
PQ.
Yeah, go with EQ. Okay, so you can see all the stuff I can see here on the screen over there. That's nice.
Okay, so we can optimize charging program for standard home work.
Yep.
Eco charging.
It's cool.
Oh, look, I can open the socket flap from here.
Not while driving. And you can, of course, do all the What happens if you go to phone? Do you get CarPlay over there?
We have your phone.
You can have your own phone.
What?
How sick is that?
No other. Wow.
Does this show? Okay.
Front passenger access to device not possible.
All right,
Okay.
so it doesn't just give you my CarPlay.
All right, let's see what we got here, though.
Just my device.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That would be cool if it did.
Yeah. I wonder if you can have dual CarPlay going on in this thing. Speaking of, it had Bluetooth and USB on that screen you were just in. Mercedes has finally ditched USB-A. Cool. I'm very happy about that. This thing has so many USB-C ports. Yeah, we got 2 here, we got 2 in the middle, we got 2 or 4
There are
back
more here.
Oh yeah, there's 2 more in there.
Yep.
This thing is loaded with USB-C ports, and honestly, it's the future, so I'm really glad they did that. So you can just keep one cable with you, USB-C to C, USB-C to Lightning, USB-C to micro or whatever, and then you can do everything for everybody.
The future is now.
You can take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, and wireless charging, of course.
Yep.
Here in the center, we've got our cup holders. We have the NFC for the key. If your battery's dead in your key, my phone's already in here charging right now. And there's our cup holders. Gigantic center console, if we didn't mention that before.
I like how that opens.
Super nice. Yeah, you got so much room.
Yeah.
That is insane. We haven't even gotten into the menus here in the gauge cluster now.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at this. This is the G meter. This is the G meter for sport in the cluster. Look at this. Oh, that is so wild. And now I also want understated. Oh, wow.
Nice.
What is this, Pink Floyd? Did it just put the whole car in Pink Floyd mode?
It sure looks like it.
But it did take all the distractions away.
It's
There
just
you
another
go.
brick in the wall.
There you go. You didn't like the distractions. Now there's no distractions.
Now there's.
All you get now.
I get no distractions now.
Yeah, all you can have is the Blue Man Group logo in the middle of the screen. It's time to start.
It's time to start.
Wow. This is really good, man. Really, really good.
I have to comment on the seats.
See kinetics?
Well, yeah.
Or-
Okay, so like most times when you get the massager and everything like that, you just get the little lumpy kneading and all that kind of stuff.
The air bladder's going like that.
This is actually moving the seat.
It does.
So that's really unique.
Wow. Did you see what happens when you touch the climate?
No.
Look at the... Okay,
Oh, it's blue.
Show
Okay.
the
Yeah,
dash
okay.
real quick.
Here we go.
Watch this.
Ooh, you warmed it up.
That's crazy.
Let me try and cool it down. Ooh, it's cold.
Oh, dude.
That's
this is out of
sweet.
control. Out of control. Okay, climate menu, sync, just what I wanted. And now it all happens at once.
Nice.
Dude. All I can say about this car is, dude, sweet.
That's sweet.
Dude. That's sweet, dude.
I love this map.
Yeah, the map
Just-
is incredible. Look how
It's-
fast it is.
Man,
Look at that. What a car, man. This is out of control. This is truly the future right here.
Right now.
Right here.
Right here.
We have the future.
We have the future.
In my hands.
At Olive Garden. We have your family.
We have your family.
That's cool.
Glad you got to experience it for a minute.
Very much so.
This is super fun.
So why do you have a clock though?
It's
you have
understated is the clock. So
analog clock
normally,
there.
oh, look at that. Understated is also like the Saabs, where the mile per hour you're not at disappears, right? You remember the Saab when you put it in night mode?
Right.
It shuts off everything after 100.
Right.
So in this, it only illuminates the part of the speedometer where you're actually like active. That's
is amazing.
crazy.
Of course, nobody can read a watch anymore, so they'll be
It's
spend more time, trying to figure out what that clock is actually saying.
I got a lot of tour left to do on this car.
Well, there's a whole lot of tool.
All right, the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV 580, one of the most fun cars I have reviewed in a long time. And I know that we've been going through the interior for a while now, but we're finally outside it to take a look at this thing. So, 21-inch wheels, they look great. Massive brakes, as you would expect. With any modern car, we've got the EQS logo up here in front of the mirror. Obviously, basically the entire Mercedes EV line starts with EQ. You got the EQE, the EQS, and of course there's the EQS S sedan and the EQS SUV. I think it's a great looking SUV. The front end, I mean, there's really nothing anybody could be upset about on this thing. Check it out, we got the old EV and we got the new EV. Of course, you have the giant pattern on the front grille of Mercedes stars. This does have the lighted star and all of the assists. If you guys remember, if you're a Mercedes fan, when the lighted star came out, you couldn't get adaptive cruise control and a lighted star. And it was insane. It literally makes no sense to have one option without the other. If you're trying to get a fully loaded car, they literally made it so you couldn't. Now, obviously, it has that. And if you take a look at this, it's like a prism. The Mercedes star in the center is like a prism, and this is the lighted section here. It's super cool. There's the front camera right there. Of course, the digital light headlights there that are out of control. Mercedes stars in every single piece of the exterior of this. And it looks great. It's at its standard ride height right now, not lowered or anything like that. You can see the air springs compressed up inside here. And of course the ride height sensor, all that good stuff. It's just really well put together. Very simple, what you'd expect out of any modern car. So this does have AMG line with the AMG wheels. Let's take a quick look at the window sticker here. I think this is only a premium package. I don't know if it says it anywhere, but it turns out this is a pretty low option car. Premium trim. And we do have 21-inch AMG multi-spoke wheels and heated rear seats. A few things have been added to this to make it better than most of the premiums. That all adds up to this 133 sticker here. Maybe it's a little better than premium. I do think the yacht design interior, that's absolutely stunning in this thing. The wood with the, let's open the handles here. The wood with these beautiful aluminum trim lines in it. And of course the ambient lighting right underneath it. That is an expensive option, and I can see why. It looks incredible. Rose gold in here, and all of this leather adds up to a really, really cool color combo that ties in really well with that pearl white. But this is Burmester 3D. It's not Burmester 3D high-end. I realized that quickly because there is no bass extension. The system sounds okay in this thing. I've quickly realized that if you don't have Burmester high-end, the system is not mind-blowing at all. It's just loud. It does okay, but it's kind of a letdown, especially when you're paying $133. At the moment, a lot of the anti-EV crowd is focusing on battery longevity. As you guys know, Tesla offers that 10-year warranty. I think it's probably 10-year unlimited miles or something like that. This one has a 10-year and 155,000 mile warranty on the battery. So if anything happens, you will be taken care of, no questions. Can't beat that deal. And it has all the driver assists, it has the good headlights. These are standard features, honestly. And that rear steer, 10-degree rear steering on this thing that lets it turn around in literally no space. The seats look absolutely beautiful. The rear seats even have pillows on the headrest. They are stunning as well. We've talked about most of the center console here. You can get a good look at that. It looks great. More of that rose gold trim that's just absolutely incredible in there. Let's open the glove box. Ooh, electronic release, and it's not hidden in a menu. So we gotta give them credit there. In the rear seats here, we have a ton of legroom. Listen to this. It's awake. It makes a ton of different sounds like this when it's going onto the charger, off the charger. Lots of cool sounds so you know what's going on. It's actually really loud outside. There's even a backup beeper, like it's a dump truck, but it's a subtle beeper. Sounds kind of nice. This is kind of interesting. The pearl white on the outside changes to a solid white in the door sill itself here. And the back seats, just what you'd expect. Super nice, finished out well, Mercedes quality. Cup holders for the rear seat right there. They of course slide back in, and we can close that. The rear seats are of course fully power folding and opening, so whether you need cargo room or you need passengers, you can just hit a switch and put them back in their position. More rose gold right here. The vents on the B pillar. Of course your quad zone climate control right there. And look at that. More USB-C ports, 8 of them. Now let's take a look at the back. Don't forget these beautiful like opera lights. You can turn them on from the front. They might be touch sensitive. There we go, look at that. What a nice way to do it. These are nice and warm, they look really good. Microphones for the back passengers or occupancy sensors, one of the two. Turn that back off. And let's come around here. Open the hatch. Of course it's power. Would you have it any other way? Here are the factory floor mats, still boxed up, more floor mats right there as well. And here's your luggage cover. Nice, nice. Not power like that RSQ8 we were just in. And first aid kit. It says 12 volt power, I assume. Here's our power folding seats right there. We can hit the button, get rid of both of them. Oh, it's fully auto. You don't even have to keep holding them. How nice is that? All right. We'll hit the switch again, put the seats back in their position, and close the hatch. We've got nice illumination here with red light to keep people from hitting you, and of course some down light so you can see what's going on as you walk up to the car, and closing the hatch. You can even pull a trailer with the EQS 580. If you pull this plug right here, you can see we've got a little receiver hitch and a 7-pin, so you could at least pull your jet skis around, maybe a small boat, and of course you've got unlimited torque to do that with. So that is the majority of the exterior of the EQS 580. Now you guys know how people on the internet are. They'll probably never buy an EQS, but of course they're outraged by the fact that you're not supposed to open the hood on this thing. We of course can open the hood, but there's nothing serviceable in there for the most part. It's an electric motor, another electric motor in the back, a battery underneath. Very, very simple. Regen braking, you'll never need to put brakes on the thing. I mean, you guys understand EVs. It's a well-known thing that basically nothing ever breaks. And if it does, you're probably taking it to the dealership to be serviced. And if you're a Mercedes EQS owner, there is like a 99.999% chance you'll never service it anywhere except Mercedes. So they don't want you opening the hood. That's basically all there is to it. We're gonna open the hood, but the other interesting thing is, where do you put the washer fluid if you can't open the hood then? Right here. This little door pops open and there's a little funnel with a hose on the back of it, and it fills up the washer fluid reservoir from right there. And we'll just close that, and that's that. The hood release is under this little panel right here, right where you'd expect a hood release to be, but there used to be a red lever, and they don't even include that anymore. Now you have to pull on this cable to release the hood. And then you snap that back into position, and there's also a Christmas tree right there, and it's all back. There's no hood struts to go bad. There's no hood prop. There is no nothing under here. Look how big these headlights are. That is amazing. Check that out. So these are literally digital projectors. It has like a 200 segment LED array in there to light up just the part of the road that needs to be illuminated, including automatically shutting off pixels that would be in other drivers' windshields or create glare, anything like that. It can take the glare off of road signs. These headlights are wild. I mean, that thing is a foot deep and 24 inches across the front. Wild. There's the air suspension right there. The 12 volt battery right there, actually really easy to get to. Shout out to Mercedes. You just pull off this center strut tower brace, and of course you got a coolant reservoir on each side with one screw holding each one of those on. Really simple to work on. This is really, really nice. There's some heat exchangers, the valve assembly, and of course we've got some of the high voltage action right here. Oh, this is the high voltage AC compressor right there, of course. 3-phase, so fully variable speed AC compressor. Look at those giant motor mounts, all this aluminum. It looks great. Electric power steering down there with a huge motor on it. And of course, the front drive motor is going to be hanging out up here too. Really hard to see, but it's in there. If we look right at the bottom, you can see the CV right there coming out of the motor. So I took the EQS 580 out for a night drive so I could check out all the lighting features. I'm going to show them all to you now. They are all mind-blowing. One of the coolest things that just makes you really, really, really happy to be in this car. Go straight. Now turn all the way in. And now straight. Now go the other way. It's the rear tires. As soon as you walk up to the EQS, the handles present themselves, and if you lock it by pushing the button, unlock it with the remote, they motorize back out, and here, wow, these are the digital lights. And you can hear the thing humming to tell you that it is ready to rock and roll. The sounds are amazing in this car. You've got the lighted star projected on the ground as well there. So let's lock it. It's going to sleep any day now. Ah, there it goes. Wow. All right, that looks sick. Let's unlock it. Here we go. A nice welcome there. Oh, you could, wow, are you kidding me? Did you see that? Is that not insane? What a sick animation. That is the car. And here's the headlight startup sequence. Oh, it's out of control. I just locked it. The rear should shut down any second now as well. All right, we get a nice fade out, and now the lights are off. Here we go, unlocking it. And it fades on. The EQS has the best ambient lighting themes I've ever seen in my life. So here's Energy Shine. This is the one with all the animations for vehicle speed. Ocean Blue. Blues on Blues. Miami Rose. Looks really good, honestly. The Malibu Sunset, this is probably the best one because it's full 80s. And here we have Burning Blue. All of these fade constantly. The colors are always fading through the ambient lighting strip very slowly. Not as fast as the Energy Shine one. This one's Venice Pink, all pink. White on white, they call it Chrome Shine. Looks really good. And Red Moon, I love this one. It looks amazing. Even the seat backs are illuminated in this thing. So every bit of the interior is lit up. And this one's also really cool, Jungle Green. It is very green. So back to Energy Shine we go. It's definitely the wildest one. Here it is parking itself. That is insane. That is unbelievably good. It's 1 inch from the curb. Wow. I'm impressed at this thing's parking.
It's amazing.
And we put it in Malibu Sunset. Apparently we can exit a parking space actively. So I want to exit that way and push the park button. I did it. Oh, it says put it in drive. You have to put it in drive. Okay. Now it's in drive, and it should do all the rest on its own. Ridiculous. That is super sick. Yep, here it goes. Okay, that's a little slow here, Mercedes. I'm pretty sure you can just go do whatever you want. Oh, it's making a 3-point turn for some reason that does not need made.
Oh.
Okay. You do whatever you want.
People are looking at us weird.
They're like, what? Why would you exit a parking spot that slowly? Sorry, the car's doing it. Amazing. Just a couple notes before we get into the fingerprint magnet. 18-inch touchscreen here in the center. The sun visors here have nice lighted mirrors with a clip for toll passes, whatever you need, parking passes, and they are downlit with a really nice little light bar right there. They look and work great. Microphones right there. The upper center console also has its own ambient lighting, controls for the lights throughout the vehicle, the Mercedes and Me button right there. This looks like that turns the lights off with the door opening. There's your SOS button. All of these are touch sensitive, as you would expect. There we go, turn them back off. And there's a slider here for the sunroof. Let's see, just push to slide both shades open, front and rear roller shades right there, and crack it open. The slider is touch sensitive. So we'll open that all the way up for just a moment here. Really cool, massive sunroof. It looks like it must keep going, right? No? Okay. That's it. That's all the sunroof. I'm a little bit mind blown. I figured it would be way bigger when it was open. We've got a frameless mirror, auto dimming of course, home link in there for your garage door opener right there. Super nice. All your ADAS system hiding up there, the rain sensor, the front camera, at least the front camera for the ADAS system. So the Hyperscreen, if you don't like screens, you can turn them off. Look at that. You can hit this button right here and the passenger screen disappears. You can hit this button right here and the center screen disappears, except for the climate control. And this is a fingerprint sensor for you to log into the car. Obviously your start stop button, all that good stuff's right there. And we'll hit that button again to wake this thing up. There's two different options for this display. You can have zero edge, which kind of combines the map and everything, or you can have an old school kind of menu-based functionality. I prefer this. It's really, really, really good. If you need to find a charger, just hit that button right there, and it will find you the closest chargers to you. Here's a bunch of the chargers in Wichita, including that's DC fast charge with 2 arrows. I think that's Nissan, a single arrow right there. And there's a lot of free chargers in the city as well. You're probably going to want to DC fast charge this thing, but you can charge for free at a bunch of these chargers here. Let's hit that button. Charge point. I don't know if that one's free or not. It looks like it's probably on WSU's campus there. Double clicking home opens up the menu. We've got Mercedes EQ, the apps like Mercedes Me, settings, comfort. This isn't actually the massage seats. I found out that's a higher tier option. This just keeps the seats moving to keep you awake. Obviously we looked at all the ambient lighting, automatic seat positioning. Look at that. How cool is that? You can just put how tall you are and it will figure it out. So yeah, let's see, what's it think for me? Okay, I hate that it lifted me way up. I'm not a fan of driving way up in the air. I want to be as far down as I can. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I have never seen that before. Impressive, Mercedes. Now I got to move my seat all the way back to where it was. We'll hit back right here. We've got all that info that you saw over here on this screen, energy flows, vehicle settings. Here's the accelerator position, brake position. I'm not even in gear, so. You can rev the engine through the audio system. So that is the 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQS 580. And if I have to throw some numbers at this, I'm actually going to. I feel like it's worth it for this car. I think the technology is a 19 out of 10. It could be a 20, but it's really unfortunate. The menus are sometimes a little confusing. I mean, I grew up with computers. There's nothing I love more than computers. It's upsetting that it doesn't have a volume knob. The volume slider in the center console isn't a slider. The one on the steering wheel works really well, but I would rather have a dial, and there's empty space on the Hyperscreen where they could have put a dial like the Fords do. Just give me a volume dial, nothing else really matters. I either want the volume at like 25 or 75, and there's not a lot of in between, so I need to turn it all the way up or turn it all the way down. So a volume dial would be really sweet. The rest of the technology is class leading, but the active braking, I find it to be really, really annoying. I was trying to stop one time and it determined that there was a vehicle ahead of me and it was gonna stop on its own, so then I'm adding brake, but it felt like it was forcing my foot back off the brake. Speaking of the brakes, another thing I really hate about them is when it's in strong regen, it pushes the brake pedal down. The car holds the brake pedal down like your foot's already on it. The whole point of regen braking is that we never have to use the brakes and we never have to change them. So I do not want the car moving the brake pedal. The brake pedal should literally just turn on more regen. So even when it's in strong regen, it seems to be kind of stupid. And also the gas pedal, speaking of pedal feel, the gas pedal, you have to put so much force on it. It's by far the most force I've ever had to put on a gas pedal that wasn't on a race car with like 3 springs on the throttle. I don't like the gas pedal. I don't like the brake pedal. I don't like the active braking. I do appreciate its level 2 driver aids. It does a really good job of lane centering, although sometimes it's idiotic. If you want it to do a lane change, you know, you turn on the turn signal stock, it starts to do a lane change, it indicates it on the display just like it's a Tesla, and then sometimes it doesn't do it, or it doesn't do it fast enough. It's just really weird. It does a great job of being active cruise with lane centering. And then it gets kind of wonky when you want it to drive the car. And it also nags you too much and too inconsistently about putting your hand back on the wheel. When it's out on the highway, it's going fast, it really never nags you, and you can just touch the wheel every once in a while, like give it one little finger rub, and it just keeps driving the car, no problem at all. But then you're driving in town and you're wanting it to drive itself at like a 40-mile-an-hour zone, clearly defined lanes, and it nags you all the time. And it doesn't like gradually wake up into the nag, it doesn't do like a yellow, it just turns red and shuts the music off and says like, grab the wheel. I mean, come on. It's a little all over the place on the driving side, but the technology, mind-blowing, and I love it to death, and it's one of the most fun cars I've driven in a long time. Go Mercedes. Anyway, huge thank you to Walser Mercedes for loaning me the EQS 580. Had a lot of fun with this thing. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. If you guys listen closely, you can hear the backup beeper. I know I mentioned not loving the accelerator pedal feel, but today it feels normal. Something was just weird last night. There's no floor mats to get stuck under it or anything, so not quite sure what was going on. We'll show you guys some of its magical power here. Here's a 50 roll, wide open. There you go. Pretty insane. So let's set the cruise, and it says that it's steering the car, it knows where the lanes are at. Change the steering wheel seat position. Oh, I see. It couldn't see my eyes, and it didn't like that. That is super interesting. So it tells you where you need to be sitting so it can see your eyes. Anyway, it's doing a great job driving. I love this active, the driver aids vision right there, just like the Teslas do. Really, really cool. Obviously, it's not going to stop automatically for the red light right here. So we're going to go ahead and stop the car real quick and put this thing in strong recoup. It's not enough. You can't just take your foot off the pedal. And of course, it's holding the brake pedal down. Final thoughts. I just took this thing down the highway to drop it back off here at Walser Mercedes. And with it in cruise control, it drove basically the whole way with one nag for me to touch the wheel. And it was doing the lane changes just the way I would expect. Just touch the 3 flash and it would handle everything for me. I'm still used to my Volt with Comma. Comma does it way better. It will lane change into anything. This wouldn't lane change onto the off-ramps for me. It was having a lot of trouble with that. It has no problem lane changing in like a well-defined highway. But when I would signal to have it move into a ramp, it just wouldn't do it. It would like slow down, come out of cruise control. It came up, said cruise control suspended. A whole mess of stuff that you should never see. The ADAS systems just need to be way more confident with their driving. And this one is good enough that it will make highway driving completely relaxing, and it'll be really nice. And one more thing, the rear steer when you're parking this yourself is really hard to get used to. This thing can turn so sharply, it can basically turn around a point. We've demonstrated that with that 10-degree rear steering. It can put itself anywhere, so you way overshoot back into parking spots the way you would expect. You kind of want to let the computer back into the parking spots.